What if I told you in a tiny bag this size you could fit an entire filming setup? Drone, camera, microphone, tripod, and gimbal. Sometimes you might just want to keep things simple, lightweight, and quick to set up. All right, let's start off talking about microphones. Well, you can use the microphones built into your camera. Using an external microphone is usually going to give you much better sound quality, and it's going to give you access to more features in terms of settings than you can normally find in a camera. So I'm using the DJI Mic 2. This microphone has a number of benefits. First of all, and probably most importantly, it actually sounds really good, and today I'm using it with this little windshield because it's a bit windy. So other than sounding good, the DJI Mic 2, you can attach a wired lavalier microphone to it if you want, and just run that wire up and kind of have it poking out here if you don't want to have this big unit attached to your t-shirt. But if you do want to attach it to your t-shirt, you can use the magnet like I'm doing now, or you can use the little clip-on attachment. This microphone has great battery life, about 5 hours-ish, and it also has an internal recording, so you can record internal backup audio to this unit. So if for some reason the audio in your video file on your camera gets corrupted or sounds bad, you can use the backup audio recorded internally. And if you want to, you can enable 32-bit float recording for the internal recording, and that's just going to give you a much better chance that your audio is going to be protected. It's not going to clip if things get really loud all of a sudden. It's not a guarantee, but it's certainly very useful to have. And the final thing about this microphone is that it connects wirelessly really easily with the camera I'm using, which we'll get to in a minute. Okay, let's talk about drones next and what is going on with my hair. Drones give you access to loads of different filming angles, and with tracking technology, it's like having a second person following you around, filming you, which is absolutely great if you're out filming all by yourself. It's going to give you loads more creative options.
Landing.
So this is the DJI Neo, this is what I'm using today, and while it doesn't have as good a video image quality as its bigger brothers and sisters like the Mini 4 Pro or the Mavics, it does win hands down on size, convenience and ease of use. Some of the benefits of this thing is that you can use it with palm takeoff and landing, which means you don't even have to get a controller or your mobile phone out of your bag. You can simply let it take off from your palm. It's automatically going to start video recording and you're up and away. You can use this thing with the DJI Fly app to control it from your phone with no separate RC controller needed, which also helps to keep your setup much lighter. This thing also has loads of creative auto filming modes built into it, or you can fly it manually if you want to, of course, using either the app or a separate controller if you want to carry one around with you. And it also works with the DJI Mic 2, so you can record yourself talking to your drone. And another added benefit is that if you use the right setup, it's also going to automatically remove the noise from the propellers when you use this in conjunction with the DJI Fly app. Links to all of the exact things I'm using today will be in this video's description. Let's talk about the camera and gimbal next. Just a quick mention, if you want 52 ways to level up your videos this year, make sure you check out my 52 Laws of Video ebook using the first link in the video's description. Thanks. So why might you want to use a gimbal, especially if you've got to carry one around in a small bag? The first main reason is you get access to mechanical stabilization. This is the actual gimbal moving around mechanically, and this is usually a lot better than digital stabilization, so you don't have to use it handheld walking around. You can set it up on a tripod like I've got right now. And another major benefit of some gimbals, if you combine them with tracking technology, is that you can actually move around. And as you can see now, the gimbal head is moving around and following me wherever I go. So it just gives your shots a bit more visual interest. As for the camera, you're probably going to want the option at least to be able to film in 4K. You're going to want to be able to manually change as many of the settings as possible if you need to. And importantly, it's got to be small enough and lightweight enough to fit in the tiny bag. And you might have guessed by now, I'm of course talking about the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. I've been using this camera for a year and there's loads of benefits to it. Obviously you've got the built-in gimbal, active track tracking like this, frame rates all the way from 24 frames a second all the way up to slow motion at 120 frames a second. You've got time lapse, hyperlapse and motion lapse. If you want to, you can just leave it in fully automatic mode, but you can also switch over to pro mode if you want to change loads of the settings manually, just if you want that bit more control. And that brings us to the final thing that fits inside this tiny camera bag, and that's the tripod. For the entire video that you've seen today, I've been using this tiny little tripod, and this is the one that comes with the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 kit. This just screws to the bottom of the Osmo Pocket 3, and when it's closed up, it gives you a bit of extra handle length when you're holding the Pocket 3 out in front of you. Watch this video next to learn all about the Osmo Pocket 3. I'm Jason Roberts. Please subscribe and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Bye.